It's Thursday morning, it's get your paint on with me. Come on, it's Thursday morning, come get your paint on with me.
And me.
Hello, everybody, it's Christmas time. It's the holiday time. Whoa. Hello there.
So exciting.
What's up,
Sound test legit.
media guy? It's Thursday morning, 10 a.m. It's get your paint on. It's time to paint. It's time to hang out. It's time to talk, rap, riff, and just overall jam. I'm Dallas Kemp. Hello from Privateer Press. And with me today, we have our social media maestro, John Swinkles.
Oh, hello.
Hello. And as usual, we have our mix master. What, you just unplugged me?
No, I unplugged me
Oh,
because I was plugging myself in because I was not plugged in. We had a little bit of a musical chair situation here earlier.
I'm going to remove the master from the mix master. Just say
Just the mixer.
the
Just
mixer,
the mix guy.
Tony Konachek.
Cable plugging. I do that very well.
Say hello, Tony.
Good morning.
And with us today, because this is going to be our last Get Your Paint On of the year before we all go on vacation next week or something like that.
Hashtag Christmas ham.
We have a special guest to join us, Mr. Will Pagani.
Pagani.
Hello.
Pagani. Pagani.
Oh, hi, Will.
Hi, Dallas.
Oh, hi, Will. And we're going to continue our Kraken today. And remember, last week I dug this out of my box, and it was all busted up. So we were rebasing it and fixing it. We added a new figurehead to my boat Krakens. As you can see, I taped it all up and put some primer on it. So now we're ready to pull the tape off and get to painting. Doesn't that sound fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get cracking.
Let's get cracking lacking.
I didn't know this was what the show was about, Jenna.
You watch it every week. Yes, you did.
I do.
You know what this show's about. It's about, I'm not really sure what the show's about.
I'm pretty sure it's about painting.
Painting
Hypothetically, we're talking about painting.
and having rap battles with Ed Burrell.
I'm actually pretty sure it's literally about painting.
Last week, it was definitely about trying to convince everybody that everything is a taco.
What did you just unveil there?
I just took all the tape off to show how bad I got my primer all over the place.
Good job.
Whap, whap.
Painting miniatures is the fine art of fixing one's mistakes.
Yeah, but it's all good. We're just gonna get right into that painting. So I just had the new not the new, I guess, but I had to add a new figurehead. So this was the girl Doug Hamilton sculpted from the Witchwood, and I had to put a new claw on because the claw went missing. So I had to wrap it all up, and I used P3 black primer, reprime those areas, and now we're going to just start painting them.
Sweet Jesus, even though he's on vacation, Will Hungerford is in the chat.
Well, yeah, dude, there's nothing else to do in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Right.
what is there? I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
you can
He can hang out in the swamp, or he can hang
Chase
out in
a
the swamp
gator?
and watch Dallas paint.
Yeah.
Apparently, he got the possums aligned just right to get Wi-Fi.
that boy be gator
The possums
chasing.
aligned.
Yeah,
There's some possums
I don't
up
know
on
if
top of
they're-
your television.
I don't know if there
it
are
just
possums
kind of
in Louisiana.
hisses at you, and that's the Wi-Fi password. However many S's.
Fix them possum ears, boy.
He does say, however, Dallas, that he's going to eat some gumbo for you.
Oh man.
He's got the good gumbo.
We had some gumbo the other night.
Yeah, at the barbecue party.
The barbecue party.
It's not really a barbecue, but everyone up here calls anything that involves a grill a barbecue. So
Well, I
guess it
mean-
was a barbecue.
Seems legit. Hello, Joe.
That we had some gumbo and it was pretty good. There was some sausage in it,
Sausage, chicken,
chicken,
rice.
rice.
And apparently, Dick James is throwing down the gauntlet, and saying that bring it, Hungerford.
I need to get my mic back so I can talk about your Christmas brisket.
Ooh,
Oh
Christmas
boy.
brisket.
Oh my
You
gosh!
want
So
it
we
back?
had our Christmas party last Friday, right?
Mm-hmm,
Yes. And there was so much food, and there was a dessert competition. And my personal favorite dessert was actually Will Pagani's dessert
Oh,
because
it's-
his
it was
dessert
beautiful.
was
Brisket.
brisket.
Yeah, I got
Like-
none of it. It was gone before I got to the table.
I mean, I'll have to bring more than 10 pounds next year.
Apparently. Never
mean-
underestimate the draw of a good brisket.
Brisket with onions got third in our company dessert party.
Which is funny because there was like a bunch of like super great dessert entries. Like there were these like cream puff macaroon things that were delicious.
Those were
Those won.
Nate Famous. Concept Art's Nate Famous. He brought those macaroons, and they were delish. They were totally delish. But you did bring brisket for your dessert, and it was kind of amazing because I overheard somebody being like, why is the brisket in dessert? And I was like right behind him, and I was just like, because brisket is dessert in Texas.
Exactly.
Like,
Brisket is everything in Texas.
Thanks, Joe, for the belated birthday wishes. Appreciate it, buddy.
blur, 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 blur,
Ooh,
blur.
first question. Trevor says, so Dallas, how did you manage to get this wooden deck look on the Kraken? Is that all hand-painted detail, or did you sculpt them by chance?
I sculpted it. It is all sculpted. Actually, if you go back and watch last week's, I talk about it, but we can talk about it again. This is all hand sculpted. So
There's also the wood grain video on Formula P3 Presents that
That's
actually just
painting
went
wood
live.
grain.
Yeah.
Yep. This is all sculpted. So what I did was, hang on, I'm kind of got my brain. Don't want to mess that up.
Fixing stuff.
So what I did was I took P3 aluminum putty and I just smashed. Am I on camera?
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put P3 aluminum putty down and then just used my sculpting tool and I sculpted in each of the individual boards and then kind of did the tearing up. Then I used the tip of a hobby knife because it's nice and sharp. And you can see I poked little holes for the nail holes. Right, I don't want to sculpt nail heads. That's too much work. So I just poked little holes to represent where the nail goes through. And then I went back to my sculpting tool and put in very light striations to represent wood grain. And then I just kind of tore it all up and I just did that over top and I also sculpted the barnacles. If we want, we could also, I brought my new bases that I'm working on for my Krakens since we tore up the old ones. If you weren't here, oh, there they are. This was last week's, what I tore out last week. So they're basically the same, except for instead of sculpted water, I'm going to do realistic water effects. I think it'll look more interesting. But maybe today, if we get time, I'll sculpt some barnacles live and we can do some live sculpting of barnacles.
You know what's great about being the final/Christmas episode
Oh my
of
gosh, I just bonked.
Formula P3 Presents Get Your Paint On is we can do what we want.
We can do whatever we want.
That's why I'm here, right?
I mean, I pretty much do.
That is why Pagani's here. There's no supervision.
He's just running rampant.
I'm the closest thing to any kind of supervision. And
Horrifying.
yeah, rule 1.
Let's see what we got here. So I'm just letting I put some beast hide over top of my figurehead and the areas that I've had to repair and resculpt because I had to resculpt this part. Oh my gosh, we got a name for this thing last week. I don't remember what it was. Spit, something spit.
No, it was
Bow spit.
yeah, something like that.
Bow spit. Bow spit. Bow spit. Bow spit.
And Sarah's in the chat. Hello, Sarah.
Hello,
Hi, Sarah.
everyone.
I don't like not having a microphone. This is bothering me.
Tony doesn't get a
Normally I'm
microphone
quiet
today
one.
because we've got the we're Pagani, but he took Tony's mic.
I mean, it was given to me. I didn't take it. It was like a kind
It was
gesture.
here. Merry Christmas.
Take the
Thank you,
microphone
Tony.
and say some words.
Thank you. I'll bring you like a peppermint from lunch or something to get you a Christmas
Ooh.
present.
Peppermint brisket.
That would actually probably work out really well.
I think we could.
If you actually use like real mint leaves, like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to like, do on the top, while
Maybe we'll do
while
that
it's
for the next
in
brisket
last
house.
little bit while it's smoking.
We'll make 2 briskets. We'll make like a normal brisket, and we'll make a dessert brisket.
Dessert
It's like
brisket.
brown sugar and peppermint leaves.
Mint
I'm
brisket.
Totally in on the mint brisket idea. We could also do. We could do the mint. Oh my gosh, we could do the watermelon again, but put mint in it. Mint watermelon. Watermelon. The watermelon.
There's nothing else in the watermelon, guys. It
Nothing.
was just watermelon.
It's just watermelon.
Is this a family show? I feel like it's a family
It's a
show.
family show.
Excellent. There was
Yeah.
only watermelon in the watermelon.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about.
Oh, unless
Watermelon?
you're talking about like booze in the watermelon.
No. We would
Okay.
never do that.
Never,
Never.
ever.
Absolutely not.
Never.
It was only watermelon.
It was just
I
watermelon.
look forward to you never doing that again.
Correct. yes.
Watermelon juice. Just juice the melon. Eh?
I will say, I don't really know how it works scientifically, but the volume of the inside of a watermelon doesn't ever fit back inside of it once you take it out.
No,
Like,
that's just science.
It's not how science works, right? Like we didn't. Okay, maybe
There's
we did
a-
add something, but we didn't add anything.
Watermelon
And,
science.
and then just man,
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
didn't feel like we
measured
added
it
that
out, and I
much.
was like, this seems like it works. And then when I did some measuring, and it didn't work, and it was kind of
we
bizarre.
started pouring watermelon back into the watermelon.
And they ran out of room.
We didn't even, yeah,
That
not even close. And then Jr. took a nap.
was the most
That
adorable
was not
thing.
watermelon related at all.
That was the most adorable thing I had ever seen. Was JR cuddled up on a chair.
William Oz Schoonover is in the chat.
Oh.
Wow, that was dejected.
He's just gonna make fun of me.
Yeah, but here's the great thing is he can't give you rules arbitration on how to paint.
That's true. Whereas I am here and he is my boss. So, hello,
Yep.
boss.
Hello, boss.
Welcome to chat.
Team leader.
Team leader, yes. We have a sliding scale of team leaderness. Oz is team leader, and then Schick is supreme team leader.
Team leader
Oh,
one,
I
go,
don't
go,
know.
go.
Supreme.
Yeah.
No, I think he's the Shiktator.
It's similar. That's
Okay.
like his short title, right?
Okay.
So like if you're just referencing him in like an unofficial capacity, the
Mhm.
Shiktator is perfect.
That's all I will acknowledge him by.
Sure, fair
Okay.
enough. Fair enough. It's a different hierarchy.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
Oh, he does.
The Shiktator?
Yeah.
I'm sure he loves it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's all about it.
He has not put me on the Schick list just yet.
Oh my.
We got these for
All day,
days, by the
every
way.
day.
Pretty much any word you can turn into Schick.
It's just
Mhm,
magic.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually went over a bunch of them on Weekly Rumble on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Whole
Oh
bunch
yeah,
of
he
them.
was on that this week,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, he was facing studio painter Brendan Roy,
Yeah.
who came closest to being the first painter to win a Weekly Rumble. So we'll see if it's going to be him or Dallas, or if we ever get Jordan on the show.
I feel like we need to do
Maybe
like
Danny.
a training montage for Dallas, right?
Oh my gosh.
Studio still has a 100% failure rate on winning games at Company of Iron on Weekly Rumble.
So
Wow.
far,
It's a good thing they're here to paint.
wow, darkest timeline.
Laugh it up.
Sarah says Shiktator sounds like a type of potato.
It is.
Just put that one back in the ground. You don't want that one.
Oh yeah, well.
I've broken Pagani.
I want that one.
Woo!
Like,
Holiday,
I'm gonna
get your
in
paint
trouble.
on.
I'm gonna get in trouble if I go down that road. Good
Nick says, "Good
morning.
morning, gang. Good morning, Nick."
Good morning. Welcome aboard. So whenever I was spraying my Kraken, I accidentally got primer all over this one arm. Whoops. That's okay. I'm just going to put some more
It's a happy little claw.
Oh,
pig iron over here, and then that way we'll throw a wash on that in a little bit and fix that all.
you know what we should do?
What's that, John?
I think that because it's the last episode of the year, and because it's a very happy holiday episode, because we've got you here, I think if we get a whole mess of people sharing this video, let's say 40 shares, we'll spoil something.
Bribery?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been wanting
Yeah.
to spoil
Oh,
stuff.
dude,
for a
I
while,
am
but
not
always wanna
above
spoil stuff.
bribery.
I
I'm
always
not
wanna
above
spoil
bribery,
stuff.
but that way the spoiler gets out to as many people as possible.
That's true. I don't even know how you check the shares. I imagine
I
Tony
have magic abilities to do so.
Tony here knows what's up.
What kind of social media coordinator would I be if I couldn't see how many people were sharing stuff
Hold
we
on.
made?
If I share, does that count?
It sure does.
All right, here we go. Shared.
Shared.
Mm-hmm. The game that goes along with these miniatures can be whatever you want. It could be the rules that we put out. It could be how many times can you prime the same model. Back at Asgard, we had
I played that
little,
game a lot.
We had a little Gobber mechanic model
Mhm.
attached to our primer tray, and when I say attached, I don't mean like glued. I mean like he had been primed so many times on that
He's
tray
become permanent.
that he had become
perma-stuck.
permanently attached. And then, I don't know, probably after like 6 years of priming models on that tray, we took him and then took a jeweler's saw and cut him in half. And you could just see all the different layers of the different colors of primer and stuff that was on there. So that was a game that we played with these models.
That's what I do with my 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 palette downstairs.
Yeah.
Like I like to see how many. Like when you take one of these and you keep using it for a long time, the greatest joy is being able to pull the paint
Oh,
off
it's so good.
and get one single pull with all 6 wells. Oh, that's like the dream.
So have you ever found wet ink in the bottom of that?
Oh yeah,
'Cause,
absolutely.
yeah, I did that like last week
Oh,
on
yeah,
mine
easy.
at home.
You're like,
I finally
"And
peeled it all
that's
off.
wet."
Yeah, and then I like was holding it over my lap and dumped like a couple drops of ink onto my lap that had been in there for I don't know 6 months, but it just been like
Brewing,
I guess fossilized inside of it.
just trapped. Someday it'll be a mosquito with dinosaur
And then we can
goop in
make
it.
a fantastic set of movies out of it.
See, so for example, Leo Pagani, I can see that so far we're at 14 shares.
14. We got to get to
Yes.
40.
Yep, that's the
Ooh.
goal.
Get your buddies
and
in
it's
here.
not it's not gonna be a crappy spoiler. It's gonna be good stuff.
You're gonna have to tell me what it is because I'm
I
not
can't
prepared
yet.
for that.
Yeah,
Well,
he's not
I know, but
prepared.
like,
Yeah. I got this.
well, you're gonna be like, spoil this, and we'll be like, I don't know.
Well, that's what you get for sitting in the hot seat.
Excellent. Because nothing greater than spoiling something wrong, right, guys? It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
No, just spoil it wrong. You'll be great.
But yeah, let me tell you, Dallas. After you've primed the same model about 700 times, you get really crisp detail in there. Perfectly smooth.
Perfectly
smooth surfaces.
It's like, that's what it's supposed to look like. Finally, I can paint those eyes.
like, does it even have eyes anymore?
It just has kind of divots.
Who knows? Were these hands? Is this a sword?
You know, it's easy to paint things that don't exist.
Yeah.
Well, when it's an amorphous blob, you can paint it to be whatever you want it to.
What I will say is, I would not suggest the dry brushing technique once you've
No,
primed something
when
about
it has no angles.
700 times. Yeah,
I'm just gonna dry brush this with some cold steel. Oh, the whole thing's cold steel now.
it's approximately a golf ball without the little dents in it.
Right.
Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Swizzle, swizzle, rinse, rinse. So, for any of those who are just joining us, Dallas is repairing his Kraken models that got slightly destroyed in some shipping mishaps when he moved. And he's going to do
Yep.
new bases. He just added a new wooden figurehead from the Witchwood model to one of them. And he's doing some other touch-ups.
Yeah, because they took a heck of a hit. Like they were pretty damaged, but that's all right. That's what happens when you own miniatures and you do stuff.
Yep, repairing
take a
stuff
little
after
hit.
transit is a thing.
You got to fix them up. So now I'm going to take. Can we see this, Tony?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So now I'm going to take. So I've put bees tied all over my little figurehead here.
Mhm.
I'm going to take some mint off white highlight.
If you could pull your forehead back a bit.
Tony, come on now.
I know.
You know how I paint.
Got to get in there.
Hunched over?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate painting hunched over, but
But in here, it's
in
kind
here
of the only,
it's like what I gotta do.
till we
Sure.
get it set up with some kind of standing desk and correct ergonomics.
Oh man.
Until
It's
then.
like when you're lifting boxes. You lift in a sharp jerking motion with your back.
Right.
It,
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
if
safety
you want to
third.
pick a box up right,
yeah.
I mean,
It'll be fine, I swear.
Hello, Jeff Olson.
Oh, hello. Oh, hi, Jeff. Oh my God, it's so good.
whoa, 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 there, shaky McGillicuddy.
What? I didn't.
Somebody be shaking me.
Yeah, we got bouncy floor.
I get excited. What can I say? What can I say?
Carl's asking if we'll ever make a costumed Warjack in Mini Crate. I can say with some certainty of there are so many ideas, it would not surprise me.
There's some really good ones coming up.
So many good ones.
I'm really excited for. I got some ideas. I'm gonna start tossing some ideas around.
I've thrown a couple out there, and I know Matt got excited about one or two of them. So we'll see if those come to fruition.
I had some good ones, but I'm pretty sure they were just all like eye rolls and dismissals. But you know, when you got bad puns, you got bad puns, right?
Right. Right.
When you sorry, there are no bad puns. My mistake.
yeah,
I
there
apologize,
is.
chat. I'm sorry.
There's plenty of bad puns. I've heard them.
And then Nathan Howard is asking Dallas, are you gonna do a faded paint effect on the figurehead, like to make it look all weathered and stuff?
Well, I'm gonna tie it into what's already been painted.
So technically, yes.
So yes. Right now we got our base coat on, and now we're putting in a very, very bright, basically texture highlight with Menoth white highlight.
Mhm.
Then we're going to do some glazes and washes to bring all that together back to look like the rest of the boat.
Legit.
So I'm going to put some texture lines across this board here that I kind of painted over.
Nathan just asked, how would you create a faded paint on wood effect? And I think Dallas just kind of went into that.
We're going to do it.
He's going to show you how.
We're going to paint the boat. Paint. So we're going to, so the idea here is a nice neutral base tone.
Mm-hmm. And that was the Beast Hide?
Beast Tide.
Yep.
Nice neutral base tone. And then a very bright highlight, effectively, giving it texture. So this is going to give it texture. And then we're going to glaze. A lot of glazes, a lot of washes. And that's going to just pull everything down, make it look more weathered, worn, beaten, rusty, crusty.
All the kind of things you want a ship mounted on the front of a Kraken to look like.
Yep. I want it to look rough.
Dallas, are you going to paint a wood grain on the figurehead there, or are you just going to kind of
I'm faking it.
paint it wood colored?
Wood
Legit.
colored with kind of, there's, so if you look very closely, it's probably kind of to see, I kind of put some lines going down her face to represent some wood grain. It's not going to be super, super, super stark.
Sure. Well, because faded.
Well, it's just too, it's, and to do it like super, super good, it just take too long. This is tabletop.
So-
But basically I'm highlighting with, so what I'm doing is I'm highlighting with vertical lines
Mm-hmm.
down the figurehead. That creates a texture on it to represent wood grain.
Makes sense. And then what did you originally transport these Krakens in that they got so bashed and broken?
A cardboard box.
So, proper maintenance and care of your miniatures includes using the right things to transport them. If you had to do it over, what would you transport them in now?
Well, I have battle foam now.
Legit.
We have Nate Fama in chat here, our concept artist.
I tried to
du
get
jour.
Nate to join us on his lunch because he was taking
Well, and
lunch.
then something came up.
And something came up. I was just like, "You're taking lunch. Come join us. It's Christmas.
Eat a sandwich with
It's our
us.
holiday.
Mhm.
Holiday paint. You're on. Jam. Get.
Yeah?
Marion
You okay over
Huber
there, buddy?
joined the chat. Doug Hamilton joined the chat. Hello, everyone. If you're just joining us, also make sure to share the video. As I told folks a little bit earlier, if we get to 40 shares, I'm going to spoil something. It's going to be awesome. Because holiday episode. I do what I want. It was my birthday 2 days ago. No one can stop me.
I mean, I could just start pulling plugs out of things. I think that would probably
That would
stop
probably
you.
You
stop.
could, but then I could just do it into the chat and Facebook.
Ah,
Sure.
or just slap the phone in your hands.
The logo just a little more.
Beautiful.
Nate said he wanted to join us so bad, but now he must go draw secrets.
Oh, shh. Quiet, Nate, quiet.
He is drawing secrets. The only thing I'm good at drawing is flies.
Flies?
Get it?
No,
Drawing flies.
I don't get that expression.
He's saying he's stinky.
Oh. But you're not stinky.
I know.
Or he's saying he's sweet. Which I believe far more than the stinky.
Like honey.
Like fine honey habanero whiskey.
Some little more little dips.
Little concentrating moment.
This is like very, very not perfect because it'll look fine when it's all done.
Perfection is the enemy of good enough.
Perfection is the enemy of done, and my favorite color is done. So I'm all about knocking this sucker out.
And we're at 32 shares. We're almost there.
Almost there. And then I get to be put on the spot for a spoiler, maybe.
Maybe.
Or maybe you've got something planned that you already know. I don't know.
I got stuff, dog.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, man, this is coming out real nice.
I know. Like,
Couple more little lines. Couple more little lines.
I know there are people in the chat that agree with me, but I can literally sit and watch Dallas paint all day.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
easy.
oh man, now that we moved the little logo thing,
Mm-hmm.
we can see like the tippy top of Dallas's head. It's beautiful.
My noggin.
It's a shiny little noggin.
And Tony moves it right back.
I don't know if they ever got to see it moved.
Probably not, but it's still funny.
But
My
Yes,
noggin.
Sarah. Honey habanero whiskey that one Mr. Jack Coleman brought into
how
the
did that come up?
office because I mentioned it earlier.
oh man, yeah, I'm really
Because I'm
excited,
excited. Yeah.
to not drink that at work.
To not drink that at
No,
work.
no, no.
Yes. Yeah.
Very, very not okay. But when I get home tonight,
Oh. Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna use it to make some chicken.
oh, it's gonna be delicious. Jack is a fine craftsman of honey habanero whiskey. At least it smells good. I haven't actually tried it yet. But I'm just gonna
So-
go ahead and say that he's a fine craftsman.
Travis asked a fun question. I'm gonna modify it a little bit. He asked, so Dallas, how many units models are in your personal collection that are all fully painted and ready to go? I'm gonna modify that to how many models in your collection, what percentage are painted?
Are we talking whole collection or just cricks?
Whole collection. Just a guesstimate. What percentage would
Percent?
you say?
That's not a good question. Because percent wise is real low.
Okay, well then how many models are ready to go
I mean,
for the table?
I can throw down Crix and Kador and Grimkin.
And the Filthy Five and some Steel Creel.
Yeah, I got those for Company of Iron. Like I got plenty of armies. I can do stuff.
Speaking of Company of Iron,
I mean,
Mhm.
I've gifted a couple of painted armies.
those count.
Friends. So, like my troll army and
Those
my-
totally count.
stuff like that. So I've had a lot of painted armies.
Word.
But sometimes I gift them.
So, speaking of Company of Iron, there was the Forge Your Company of Iron contest that we ran a couple weeks ago, and we've been going through tons of awesome submissions. Pagani, I think we're almost ready to announce winners.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Tomorrow?
Either late today or tomorrow
Late today
is
or
the
tomorrow.
plan currently. We want to get it out there before the holiday fully kicks off and everybody disappears into their homes in eggnog-fueled comas.
That was one of my favorite. That was a really fun competition.
It was literally my favorite. We will do something like that again, hands down. People got into it and made some really cool stuff. A lot of it, the easiest place to find it is there's a Company of Iron group on Facebook. It's not an official one or anything like that, but just a lot of people share a lot of really cool stuff there, not just the Forge Your Company of Iron stuff, but just ways they're playing, stuff they're doing with terrain on their tables. If you want to see just a lot of cool different things that you can add to your Company of Iron games, check that group out.
I think it's actually hosted by Adam of Broken Egg Games.
I believe
true.
so. Yep. And I know a couple people in the office have been made admins just so they can help out and stuff like that. But yeah, it's an unofficial group, but it's got a bunch of dope stuff in it. Check it out.
All right. So what I did is this actually did not exist when I originally painted these models because I painted these models like 6 years ago. But I took some Caspian flush wash
Mhm.
and washed that over my figurehead. And because it's got a nice yellow tone, I'm kind of just blurking it onto the boards all over. And because we're kind of tying everything together, I can go back. I'm going to add it to this Kraken as well.
And that's just sort of to pull them together, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't there before, but if you add it to both of them, it'll make them look uniform.
Yep. You're just tying it all together, right? The more you just, it's all just about working everything back together, right? And so when you repair, you can do those little tricks to kind of make it easier to tie together, I guess, by bringing that color out around not just the area where you patched, but to the surrounding areas, and then making sure it's on, any other model that's the same. You can kind of pull that back together and make it much easier. I'm out of armor wash.
I took mine home, otherwise I'd have some on my desk. Do you have enough, or do you need me to run
I got
downstairs?
plenty.
Okay, cool.
There's enough. I got it.
And we're at 34 shares, 6 more to go,
Actually, I got two.
and then
more,
it's
so-
spoiler time.
Oh, and we were talking about Company of Iron earlier, and I brought some little. I get to show off. a
Who
little
gave
bit
you
today.
a mic?
I took it. I took it back.
Tony, you should totally share. What
This is
you-
my gear. I'll take it back whenever I want it.
That's true.
It's
So
okay. I will share with Pagani.
Oh, hello.
so I finally finished up my
Show them off.
my gun mages for Company of Iron.
Do it. Shows them.
Oh, look, there they are. They'll rotate through. So these are all my, just my unit of gun mages, and I did a little sculpting, putting the kerchief on all their faces.
Yep.
So they all look like little bandits, and of course, fingerless gloves on all of
Well,
them,
yeah.
whether painted or not painted. Just
Yeah.
I
You
don't know about
can't
the
be cool
functionality.
if you
but they
don't
look
have
cool.
fingerless gloves. We grew
Yeah.
up in the 90s. I know what that is.
So I gotta do a little touch up
Oh, I
on
like
some of
that.
the bases and stuff, but yeah, looking pretty good. That's
Yeah,
the
those are
Black
good.
13th there,
Yep,
and
yep.
that was I did swap out the Watts and Ryan
Mm-hmm.
for the Kane's Hellslingers
Yeah, yeah.
models. I just like them and thought they
And
would
you've got
work
the
out.
Arcane Tempest
I have a
Rifleman there.
Rifleman, yeah. So it's a unit of a min unit of Tempest gun mages,
Mm-hmm.
the Rifleman, and the Black 13th.
Now, what's
That
the-
is incredibly similar to my list.
What is the name of your company?
They are the Death Dealers.
Death.
I imagine them as very, very roguish gun mages who have completely just hands in the air off of any political involvement and are out for themselves in weapons dealings.
Nice.
Profiteering, if you will.
Yep.
Hooray!
Very thematic for the company. The
I
profiteers.
totally dig them, Tony.
I'm just happy again from Dallas. My favorite color on these guys is done. I'm just glad that they're finished and
Well, Doug
Completely
Hamilton says
playable and
nice
ready.
work, Tony.
Well, that's a cool thing. It was like when you first started them. When you first started them, you were very like kind of, oh, what am I doing? And like, oh, and then we had a talk. I came to your office and we were talking. And I was just like, just finish them. Just kind of look at what you're doing and just finish them, and then see what you think. And then you finish them, and you're just like, dude, like that was it.
I'm the loser now because
Like-
I need to finish my Lanissa Voss list and actually finish getting them painted.
It was like just setting down and finishing something makes you feel so good, and quit stopping worrying about if it's gonna be good, and just finishing it, learning from those lessons that you get in the process, and then applying it to the next project. Like, it's okay to have a project where you're just like, you know what, is this the best I could do now? No, but it's the best I could do then, right? And you just keep applying those skills and those lessons over and over and over until, you know, that's what you do. You just keep applying new skills over and over and over, and quit worrying about if it's going to be good enough. I don't think about is anything going to be good enough, right? You just do it to the best you can. And then when you're done, you're like, okay, cool. This is what I did. And I learned about this. So I need to apply that to the next model, right? And then you take your next project and you just start doing that. And you just keep building on your skills. So anyways, hashtag #FFear.
Oh. That got a little more extreme than I expected.
39 shares, one more to go.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous, John.
Don't be nervous. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Blurk, 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 blurk. So I mixed some armor wash and some Thamar black, and I had to put over my claw that I had to add, and now I'm just kind of adding it to all the claws real quick, just to make sure that that same tone is applied. I did not write down my recipe for these.
That is something that I've recently started doing. Is I got a notebook, and whenever I paint something now, I always write down the steps that I took on that thing, because I have basically every faction in War Machine almost fully painted. So whenever I want to go back or a new model comes out or something, it's nice to have that. Oh, how did I get
How
this
did
armor?
I do this?
Absolutely.
How did I what did I do for the metal on these guys and
Right.
stuff, so that when I do go back, all of my stuff can match. So
And Alex just paraphrased what Dallas said really well. The price of perfection is prohibitive. Just finish a project and get better. And if you really want, you can redo it later.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just buying a new model. Like if I'm like, trying to think, there was something I was looking at in my collection the other day.
I did it with a Man of War I did for some friends back in the day. I started painting a unit of Man of Wars, and I really didn't like how they ended up, but I learned a bunch doing it. And so, because I owned a store at the time, I just bought another set, kept those ones, and then painted the ones for my friend over again using what I had learned, and they turned
Yeah.
out a lot better.
There was something the other day I was looking at my collection. I was just like, ah, man, does not fit with the rest of my army. And I was just like, I'll just get a new one and just do another one. Right? All right, cool, doing another. All right, we're waiting for that Cossite flesh wash or not Cossite, sorry, Caspian flesh wash to dry.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have my blow dryer up here?
Tell people how you normally do that in the studio.
So, my favorite color is done, which means I like to finish, which means I ain't got time to wait. So I usually take a blow dryer in the studio and also my home studio, and I'll use a blow dryer to cure the paint and get done faster.
Is that a step that you can apply to the other Kraken while you're waiting for it to dry?
Nope, everything's
Gotcha.
we're waiting on that one too. So, because the other one, the wood grain's all painted, so we're just patching that one. So we're waiting on the wood grain. So how about this? While we're waiting on paint to dry, let's sculpt some barnacles.
Barnacles. Eric says, "Don't be scared, be scorned."
Be scared.
And Todd says, "Don't be scared, be scarred."
Don't be scorned. You should not be scorned.
Scorned her
It seems
pants.
really painful. Like just in general.
They just stick things in their flesh and then they hurt little baby animals.
The Agonizer's adorable. Don't you take that from
So
me.
adorable.
He's in pain.
I just want to be a fat guy to get carried around by 3 of them. Okay,
Sure. Okay.
that's what I want.
You got a long way to go.
I do. I
It's
got
gonna
to
take
eat a lot more
of brisket
dumplings.
and whiskey.
Oh, a lot
Oh,
more
we're at 40
dumplings.
shares.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna have to run away for just a moment.
Oh my.
I'll return momentarily. So hopefully Pagani can add to Dallas's already super entertaining painting.
Well, I know we had Nate in chat a little bit ago. One of our concept artists, and one of his arts. We're gonna stick with it. One of his arts was posted yesterday, which was
Which one? There's several.
Alice.
Oh,
The
Alice, Big Alice.
concept, yeah.
Yeah, big and little Alice.
Big and little Alice.
Which is some of my favorite art I've ever seen for like anything that we've done.
Where do you see the miniature?
I haven't seen the miniature.
Do you want
yet.
to see the miniature?
I mean, I don't. You can show me later, or,
Yeah.
or unless you guys.
I can
have
show
one
you
done.
later.
I
I can show you later.
John's running away to find
You
something spoilery.
You could. I can
So.
show you later. Just come down to my desk.
Sweet.
Womp
Sweet.
womp. Come down to my desk. I got some cool stuff on my desk.
But that's one of my favorite ones, and I think Tony's going to try and find us a picture here.
Where is that picture?
Yeah, but this is one of my favorite things so far out of Crucible Guard, is this sort of aesthetic to it all. And man, she's a beast. I'm excited to see what people think of her, and maybe that's what John's gonna come back with. Who knows? Who knows? He could walk back in here with anything. Oh, someone posted a link in our chat here, and it was
Posted
from the
a
insider
link
from yesterday.
in the chat. There was a lot of really cool stuff from Oz's Insider yesterday.
Yes,
The Manowar guy,
Drago
Dragogovic,
Drogonovich.
Joganovic.
I don't know how it's actually.
I don't know how to
pronounced.
pronounce it.
I don't even normally get names in dev, right? Like we just have Manowar dude with 2 hammers. So,
Dragogovic.
and then of course the GoLab art got posted up.
GoLab looks super dope.
Yeah,
Also-
GoLab is Animag, the new Ogre and Warcasters character War Beast. We posted that at Lock and Load. And it's got Lightning Strike as an Animus, which to me is super exciting for Legion. Also posted up at Lock and Load. Like it was. That beast is so cool. I'm so excited for all the stuff coming out. My God. We're gonna get back into what I said on Chain Attack though. Is like I get excited at straws, like paper straws. So like, take anything I get excited about with a grain of salt here. I just love it every time Souls walks into the dev office and he's like, "Guys, I got this new thing," and I'm just like, "Tell me."
All right, I'm going to talk about how I'm sculpting these little these little barnacles. Uh-oh, where's my lip balm?
Lip balm. Oh yeah, you use that for squirting stuff.
Where's my lip balms? My lip balms.
I got some on my desk.
I'm not gonna use other people's lip balms.
That's fair. No cross contamination with your hobby knife. I get it. I get it.
I worked in the kitchen, so all I did was like. Can you see that, Tony?
Yeah, it's pretty close, a little out of focus.
How about there? Tell me where.
Let me see. Hold it there.
I'm gonna hold there.
Focus on it.
Can you focus on that, Tony?
Oh, beautiful.
All right. So I put like a little ball of putty there. I'm going to use the tip of my hobby knife to kind of tack it down. Tell me if I get out of focus. I need to move.
You're looking good.
So can you see how I'm just kind of tacking that down against that cork? Is that reading?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of mushing that against the cork. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, and my hobby knife is a little wet. I dipped it in my water. Now I'm going to use the back of the hobby knife, not the sharp end. Kind of cut some little grooves going up, kind of creating like a cone shape. Like that. And then right in the center, I'm going to take the tip of the hobby knife. Oops. You don't want to tug it open. You just want to wallow out a hole.
Wallow out?
Waller.
I don't know if that word means what you think it means.
Waller.
Excellent.
And waller out a little hole. That's it. That's all it is. Oh, John just put something over here that we're going to show. What is this? Oh, I know what this is. Can we see that?
Primed white.
Hold it in one spot. There we go. Let me.
It's kind of hard to see, but it's such a dope sculpt.
Tony's gonna adjust some stuff
We got
here.
some contrast coming in here.
There we go.
There we go.
Here, let's put it again.
Hold it a little closer if you can. Let's see if we can.
Oh, there we go. Right there.
So this is a Satixis crew for Scar 3,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sculpted by Mr. Doug Hamilton.
And it's also fairly indicative of some of the other Satixis stuff that's being worked on.
Yes, the new Satixis stuff is coming in very nice.
The sculpts and the poses are amazing.
This has been all cleaned up and looks like it's all zenithal primed for Mr. Brendan Roy to get crack-a-lacking on painting this Satixis pirate crew for Scar 3. So
Yeah.
there you go. Yar! Yar! Yarg!
Yarg.
Oops, I dropped.
So yeah, the sculpts for those. That's just one of them. And
There's 3 little pirate girls on Scar's boat, and they're all very, very cool. And some of that other Satixis stuff is really, really nice. Like the rules for some of that stuff that's all through CID, right?
Yeah. Scar 3's through CID.
So the Blood Priestess
Mhm.
is probably my favorite
yeah.
of the new Satixis
Oh,
stuff.
it's super dope. And then they're getting some new raiders. Yeah.
Yep, new unit
Yep,
of Raiders coming
yep.
from Mr. Hamilton as well.
Saw some of the sculpts for those. Freaking amazing.
Beautiful stuff. I really like the whips. Like they
Mm-hmm. They're
turned out
super
really, really nice.
dynamic. Yeah, I don't unfortunately have any of the finals to show just yet, but as soon as I can, I'm gonna go crazy with them because
That's not true. The finals are downstairs.
are they?
Nope.
Well,
Getting schooled by
not
Dallas.
today.
Not today.
I got finals on my desk.
I'm just excited about the Marauders.
Mm-hmm.
Blighted Trollkin Marauders.
Dude, those are dope.
Oh, those models
are
look
dope.
so good. I hope we can show those off soon because holy moly, those have me wanting to build a slaughter fleet list. They're just incredible.
I'm doing it when I'm done with my Lunas of Us and getting them painted up. I have a Satixis group for Company of Iron that I'm making as well.
Nice.
And those new ones are gonna make that a dope looking army.
Jusica Blood Tongue looks so good.
Oh,
We
yeah.
showed her off a couple weeks ago.
Are you
on-
painting her or is Jordan painting her?
I'm not painting it.
I think
I think
Jordan's
it's Jordan's
almost done with her.
painting.
It's
Yeah.
done.
He's
It's actually
It is
done.
done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll have photography of that soon, I think.
I know when we were going to lunch yesterday, he was working on it. So.
It's done. I approved it yesterday.
Nice.
I don't know if barnacles should actually be on this, but it does make it look cool.
It does. And if it looks cool, it works.
Yeah. Oh no.
So, Pagani, we were just talking, about that piece from Scar 3 from the CID. What was the most useful piece of feedback you got? Do you remember?
About Scar?
Yeah.
Specifically? Well, there were a lot of people talking about how survivable she was. And that was probably a fair complaint.
Sure.
Because she had a ton of armor, a ton of hit points. She had admonition. She had
And she's not slow.
deceleration.
Yeah.
She's, I think, speed 6 or 7.
Which is not terribly slow for something her size.
If I remember correctly, she's speed 7, which is actually the same speed that she walks, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But
Ghost boat.
yeah, I guess maybe it's a slow ghost boat. Maybe she walks really fast. I don't know.
Oh, it is ponderous.
A ponderous boat. But yeah, so a lot of people gave us a lot of really good feedback about how difficult she was to remove from the table and sort of how aggressive she could play while having a
While
very-
maintaining that survivability.
Yeah, while maintaining that survivability, and then she also had like she also has just a ton of guns, right? Like she
So many
She brings
guns.
2 cannons. She's got a hand cannon, so she can play very aggressively, and then she can really contribute a lot meaningfully herself. And then of course she has some great support spells in there as well. So one of the big feedback points that we got was that she was too survivable for what she was bringing to the table. So we ended up dropping a couple hit points. We removed admonition for Dark Waters.
Dark Waters is a great choice, though.
Yes, I think it's a really cool thing that really opens up sort of the options that you can play with her. So it gives her a little bit of a threat range game for Warjacks, which you couldn't have before. Or like she has dash as well. So
Oh,
like
sweet
with with Gerlach Slaughterborn, that guy can just come out of nowhere with her. When you place him 2 inches and then dash him, and then he's immune to free strikes, and he starts berserking and overtaking and just,
Slaughter Fleet. Gonna
Yeah.
be so good.
yeah.
That's gonna be a lot of fun to play with and against. I'm looking forward to taking some of my Signar against that, or my Retribution.
And Scar is, I mean, I think Scar is actually the reason Dallas is doing this in his paint thing right now, right? Like you're excited to play Scar with these 2 Krakens, right, Dallas?
Oh yeah.
Like I think she's got Guided Fire, which is great
Guided
for all
fire
their
with 2
shooting.
krakens.
She's got a strength buff that really.
Dick James just called that list a gun bully list.
Yes, absolutely. Like
Um,
it's got an excellent ranged presence because of deceleration. It fights into other ranged lists very well, which is something that.
Which is why I want to play against my Signar and my Retribution, because both of my lists for those are fairly shooty.
And yeah, so I think you get. I think she brings a lot to the table for a lot of different lists, and she has a ton of variety in what she can play in. So I'm excited to see how it all turns out, right? Like there's
I'm excited to see 3 boats.
Yep.
3. Oh.
Come on, like I
got his
already,
2 boat Krakens.
I already sculpted boats on my Krakens, and then I see Scar 3. I'm just like, all right, well, I mean, obviously,
We got to get Danny to make you some terrain for that.
why? I can make my own damn train.
You can, but it was more to get him included too.
Make my own damn train.
Danny
Ooh,
making
spicy.
boat terrain.
Danny's working on some terrain for Crips right now.
Yes.
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 There's
Danny
some
does some amazing stuff.
He
there's some
does.
stuff going on downstairs.
Well, that table
that
that Tony just took a picture of on his little guys.
Mhm.
That's all.
the one from Weekly Rumble last week,
Little,
or earlier this week.
Crucible
Say-
Guard table going on.
Yeah, one of their refineries or something.
Mhm.
I don't know exactly how they work.
We'll see that table again for the first weekly rumble in January.
Woo woo.
I'm
When
gonna
is
s-
the first Weekly Rumble in January?
I believe it's the 9th, and I believe that is the first. That is the Dallas v. Josh
Yeah.
match that we had been delaying for a long time with Josh's
Sweet.
painted army that he did on Get Your Paint On.
Yeah, that's a long time coming.
It is.
I'm gonna sculpt the starfish.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I put a little blob. I'm gonna use my hobby knife. I'm going to put some indents. Like so. Tony, can you see that?
Come down a bit more towards you. Yeah, there, that's better.
It's funny because Dallas is like less than 10
Starfish.
feet from me, and I'm watching it do it on the tiny screen on my phone. Just to see how it looks, but at the same time, I'm still able to watch.
Now I can. So all I did was push it in, and I did 5 of them all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can just start shaping those to be
Little starfish legs.
little legs, like so. By slowly removing putty. I'm just going to stash that right there for now. I'm not a professional sculptor, so don't judge too harsh.
Hey, don't you get down on yourself.
You
Dallas.
you are
not down
being
on
paid
myself.
right now, and you're sculpting. Thus, boom, professional sculptor.
I'm just going to get rid of all this putty. And slowly work my way around.
Coffee drinker.
Oh
Yeah. Totally legit.
Oh, good call.
Coffee time.
Nevin was asking, when do we get to see the Satixis Gunslinger Captain Solo? The answer is, I don't know, but I want one.
Not Axiara. Severa Blacktide?
Severa
I
Blacktide.
think
Yeah.
is her name.
Yeah, I don't remember when she's slated. I don't think she has a final release date yet, but I want it.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not scheduled yet, or at least it's not firmly scheduled.
I mean, I could talk about her sculpt.
Yeah, I haven't even seen really. I mean, I know we post concept art, but I'm not even sure I looked at it when we posted it for CAE.
It looks good.
It looks pretty
Like-
cool. All right. So now we got more leg shape, and now I just keep refining that leg shape. Using the back of my blade, bringing it more together. Get rid of that piece of cork.
And then Nathan Howard is asking if there will ever be a Sculpting with Doug segment. Technically, yes, because we usually have him at Lock and Load and a couple other shows where he gets to sync up with us and do some stuff live. Lock and Load, I know he's there for that. He's usually there for Gen Con in some fashion,
War Machine Weekend.
War Machine Weekend. So, yes.
Did you do any live sculpting at War Machine Weekend this year?
He did.
Nice. Oh
He
yeah,
worked
that's how we got
on,
out
Silvestro.
Silvestro and
Oh,
Someone the Unseen or
oh
something.
man, what's her name?
Iona,
Iona.
something like that.
So if you go over to youtube.com/privateerpressprime and go through our War Machine Weekend videos, you will be able to find those.
I don't know if he ended up doing anything on the Unseen. I think he just showed it. I don't know if he worked on it.
I don't know if he
If
worked
I
on it.
recall correctly, when I watched it later, because I didn't get to go to War Machine Weekend, he was just showing it off.
Cool.
But I could be wrong. Ooh, that's a great question, Stefan. Dallas, how hard does the P3 aluminum putty dry compared to, say, like other putties?
Very hard. You can sharpen it.
Yeah,
Like
you
after
can
it's-
file it, you can sand it. It gets very
After
solid.
it cures, you can really get in there with some sandpaper or files and shape it. It shapes very well when it's hard. It's very smooth, which is why I like it. It also, you can get a really fine point. Oh man, I just smushed those. I was not paying attention.
Well, to your point about points, I hadn't actually used it till I started working here, even though it's been on the market for a while. And I used it to fix some of the swords on my Blightedness Swordsman. And yeah, I was able to like replicate the shape of those swords and even bring them to a finer point than the original sculpts, like stupid fast, and turned out really good.
Yeah, you can get in there and really sharpen that stuff. It takes to sanding very well.
And yes, Nick, right now the P3 mixing medium does only come in the one size,
Yep.
but it lasts quite a while. Like, you don't have to go ham with it.
Oh yeah, I think I've had one bottle for.
Yeah, it gets a lot of work
Yeah,
done
I've
for
never had one
not a
bottle.
ton of it. Yeah.
You know, I actually learned something from your videos a while back, Dallas. You used that medium to attach grass to stuff when you were basing, and I've started doing that because it's just way easier to work with than glue, and it's right there. And
It's right there. That's
and
like
you don't
my
need
big thing.
much.
yeah, it
It's
doesn't take much.
super little bit. You just spread it with a brush you don't really like so much anymore, and boom.
Yeah, so that's been really great. Learning from Dallas Camp.
Learning.
Decamp.
All right, so I kind of got like my little starfish there. What does it look like?
Looks like a little starfish.
It looks all right.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to take, let's see if I can find something that I can use here.
What are you looking for?
Well, you know what? Sometimes you don't know what you're looking for till you find it.
Mediocre.
No, that's a paint.
That's a paint.
I don't know. It's one of my
I
favorites.
feel like he's looking for like the handle of.
I need some, yeah, I need a handle.
We got
I
this
need
weird hex wrench
some
thing.
Sort of. Tony's hex wrench.
There you go.
Tony's hex wrench. We're going to
Like
use
the
a
handle has a
smaller-
cool texture.
We're going to use
The tool used for everything from IKEA works just as well in hobbying.
Just gonna give a little bit of texture, some happy texture.
Happy little tappy tap, tap tap tap.
It's a happy little starfish.
I just stepped on Pagani's foot.
It happens.
There we go. Textured.
Boom, nailed it.
Boosh.
Now I got a
boy.
starfish from my base. All right, how's this girl? So that paint's still pretty wet.
Where's the blow dryer?
I forgot to bring my blow dryer up here. That's
Yeah.
all right.
And I wasn't cool, kids. I didn't grab it while I was downstairs.
So I'm going to take some Cosite Flush Wash and my Armor Wash and mix that together. And I'm going to work that into deeper blend over that wood. Like so.
And while you're doing that, it is we've been at this for about an hour. How much longer do you feel like going, Dallas?
Well, I mean, we're getting close to
24-hour stream.
Nope. 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 Everyone else is down. I'm
John,
out.
how many shares do we do 24-hour stream?
226.
I feel like that number is totally achievable, and
It would be,
I feel like you
except
messed
for
up.
except for we hit 40, and that's where they stayed. So these underachievers are gonna have to step their share game up if they want a 24-hour stream.
I mean, I feel like that should have been like 6,000, right? Like,
I
we,
feel
we
like-
might be here a long time now, John.
I feel like I wasn't consulted on my
That's what I'm
sudden.
saying. 226
My
is
sudden
like a
time
reasonable
commitment.
number.
226,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that's quite a few.
Cheers. All right. Good luck, guys. I don't think you guys are gonna make that one.
This door is locked now. You're in.
Woo! I mean, I'm just saying, we could get some Chinese Twitter bots in here. We could get our
No.
250,000 shares.
Also, this is not Twitter; it's Facebook.
Yeah, you just get them in there. It's the same thing.
It still works, right?
It's the same thing.
So, once you've got the Krakens ready to go, the next step is the realistic water effect and then painting, or do you do the water effect after some of the painting on the base?
After the bases will need to be painted,
Mhm.
and then we can pour some water.
Okay, so the question for chat is, on the next couple of videos, would you like to see Dallas continue working on repair and modification to his Krakens? Or is there something else you would like to see on Get Your Paint On? Because I'm down to keep watching, Kraken perfection.
Get your paint out.
Get your paint on,
But
get
we
your
also
paint
care about what
on,
you have
paint
questions
on,
about
get
and
your
what you
paint
want to
on,
see.
get your
So
paint on,
make your
paint
voice
on,
heard in the
get your
comments
paint
below.
on, get your paint on, paint on, get your paint on, get your paint on, paint on.
So you didn't actually answer the question. How much longer do you feel like going today on this holiday special last end of year episode?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Let me get this.
Do what you want.
Let me get this. So this needs some green now.
It absolutely does. What kind of green?
Some sort of green.
Like a green ink, or are you actually going for another layer?
Probably if I do green ink, we're gonna have to make a mix.
Okay.
Because green ink is very vibrant, and I don't want that vibrancy, so we'll have to tone it down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So green ink mixed with probably,
Some umber or something else to darken it up.
actually probably Cossite Flush Wash.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, we're using some of that Thamar Black to blacken our.
Mr. Dick James says the three boats list is what he wants to see painted. So the 2 Krakens, and eventually when we have a final model Scar 3.
Scar time.
Travis says he'd love to see you paint a unit of Bane Warriors.
I don't. What?
Bane Warriors.
Why Bane Warriors?
I don't know, it's just what he wants to see.
Bane Warriors don't go on my list.
Who knows? It's what he wants to
Bane
see.
Warriors
painted.
aren't pirates.
You don't get to judge what,
What if you
he
made
wants to
Pirate
see
Bane
you
Warriors?
paint.
What?
What if you made Pirate Bane Warriors? We got a lot of Bard hats down there.
That's true. Just Bane Warriors with pirate hats.
Yar! Nailed it. Fist bump.
And like little, you could sculpt some eye patches on them.
Oh, little eye
They don't even
patches
have
on my
eyes, but-
ghosts.
What if they had eye patches on both eyes?
Because it wouldn't
'Cause
matter.
they don't have eyes.
We've also got to vote for something Kador, some more fixes, or maybe another bust, something Scorn or Circle,
Oh, trust me, Kador's coming.
and Sarah says any Dallas is good Dallas.
See, Sarah knows.
You guys are on point today.
I know. Me and Pagani need to do this together all the time.
Geeky.
Benjamin says, "Show me how to paint a scar bust."
I show you how to paint a scar bust. There's a video
Yup.
that already exists of me painting a scar bust in an hour.
That was Borka.
No.
Oh, did you do a
also
scar
a
one
I
as
did
well?
Scar as well.
Oh, snap. Oh.
War Machine Weekend.
See, this is what happens when I don't get to go to War Machine Weekend.
Those videos still exist.
It was a good show. I was very happy to be there this year.
They, yeah, I did the scar, but yeah, man, I guess we could do a full-on, like, straight-up bust painting episode.
Yup.
Rest in
We
pieces,
lost the
camera.
video feed. We're still live, but we have temporarily lost the video connection.
You can just look at pictures of my stuff while I figure this out.
Oh my gosh.
So we're gonna look at Oh wait, did it come back?
She's back, maybe, Jim.
Maybe.
She's maybe back, Jim? I don't know.
All right, there it is.
Okay, so right now we're looking at Tony's Gun Mage Company of
Did I
Iron
do
list
something?
again.
I
No, it
bumped
probably
it.
just needs to be reconnected or
I
something.
bumped it with my head.
Did you?
Yep.
Head bump.
I felt it. Oh my gosh. It's collapsing all around.
I feel like Dallas is kind of like a dog. When there are like things above him, he gets very nervous.
Hey man, let me tell you about my childhood.
Were there things above you that made you nervous?
Let
I
me
don't
tell
think
you
we
about
want
my
to go down this path.
Our concept artist Nate says Tony just wanted to show off his models again.
Any excuse, I'll take it.
You know the excuse?
And as we see here,
So Benjamin says he's looking for the Scar Bust video from War Machine Weekend, but can't find it. Tony, is that something that you're able to grab the URL for over there? He's looking
Are we
right
back
now,
up?
Benjamin.
Yes,
we are
we are.
back. We are back and ready to go.
Okay, so I've mixed green ink,
Mm-hmm.
Baldress green, and my Cossite Flush Wash kind of all together to make just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna
Just a mess.
just put a little bit of green tint in some of this wood.
and then at the end of this, he's gonna throw it all over the room,
Just
and
That-
that's the mess he's gonna make.
That might be true.
Just let me leave first.
Nope.
My wife likes this shirt.
Michael says it's totally not pirate related, but he wants to see snow basing and how achieving snow effects on a model like it's been out in the snow while it is snowing.
That's a-
Hashtag trolls for life.
That's a pretty good
It is.
idea. All right, this is all just wet. I'm just letting it mush together.
And get down in the nooks and crannies.
And we'll take a little bit of the same green and bring it over to this Kraken.
Derek Perkins.
And I'm barely putting this in here. This is very
Very lightly feathered in.
just tinted. Just a nice little glaze. And use my wet brush to kind of blend it.
Wet.
Kind of let mottle. I'm just going to let that mottle in there.
So the link has been posted.
Shazam. Tony. Boom. Dropping the link to the video for the Scar Bust.
Let's darken up that shadow.
The boost.
The boost. The boost.
The boost is
Pop your
on
feet
fire.
and boost.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a boost time.
Nathan asks if you think you will add kelp to your Kraken, and you originally had some detritus and flotsam and jetsam on there.
Yeah, it's still on there. I need to add a little bit more. So if you look here, you can see this is gauze.
Mm-hmm.
Am I on the screen or not?
No.
Yep.
Come down.
There you go.
Oh, wait. I'm looking
It just delay.
If you look right here,
Mm-hmm.
there is gauze that I've soaked in white glue and water mix to very thin, very, very thin. And I've strung that around, and you can see it. It's kind of, I think there needs to be more. But yeah, that is the idea, is to kind of get that grungy, textury added layer to the model by taking gauze, watered down in white glue,
Right on.
and stringing it over.
Alec wants to see
Little
how to do
areas.
some water effects on the model, like it just crawled out of the ocean, which is probably something that you can do on like the legs of this guy.
Oh, they're gonna. Well, if you look at the base,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this is all gonna be water. So
Sarah seconds the snow thing for her snowy Kador.
splash, splash, splash.
And Rafael Bokamatsu has joined the chat. Hello, Rafael.
The ocean.
That's a weird ocean you got there, Nellis. Like, I'm not here to judge, but like, it's a strange ocean. Don't give me that look.
The Kraken peed in it.
Ooh. That would explain why
Oh.
it's blacky green.
Yep. Dallas bumped the camera with his noggin.
That
again.
thing is right above my ear.
It really is. It's like literally.
That's how you make.
We're just gonna
poached
have to get you one of
Dallas.
those little like GoPro head cameras. So then it's just video capturing whatever you're looking at. That's actually a horrible idea.
Yeah, for
Tony's
how often
nodding
he
that
glares
yes,
at me.
That is horrible.
Yeah.
Cross that flush wash, and so you can see the gauze here that was white.
Mm-hmm.
Now
That's
it's not white.
Shazam. Poof. Magic.
A little paint on that.
Magic gauze.
There's some gauze down here.
That actually sounded like you said Magic Oz.
Ooh. Oz is pretty magical.
He is. He was staring
Oz
at the back of your
is
What?
nugget earlier.
A
Yeah, he was standing at the window lurking.
Team leader, no.
Oz is a unicorn.
That is true.
There
Not
could,
like a classical fantasy sense, but
No.
like a concept.
like yes, the idea of Oz is like the idea of a unicorn.
Back to one of those glares I was talking about. a
Magical
moment
and
ago.
rare.
Oh man, if only Aggie was here, we could totally like get an Oz unicorn Photoshop. Quickly, someone
Somebody
to the Reddit
summon
Discord.
Agatha. And
No, and there's Oz.
You
there a
can't
need?
summon a unicorn,
there
Oz.
can't do that.
I
That's-
heard my name multiple times.
You get out of here.
And Oz,
Bye-
ladies
bye,
and
Oz.
By the way,
gentlemen.
my vote I put in the chat. Steam Gun Tanker. Paint it.
Oh.
I didn't
He's
read that
awesome.
up.
I'm not gonna lie, I basically died when I saw that model. So,
Yeah.
and I've talked about it once on a podcast where I was like, I saw this thing and I'm done. I'm done.
Benjamin, scroll back a little bit through the chat to see the link to
Nope.
the Scar Bust video. It's in the chat comments.
He's talking about the which one?
The steam gun tanker, one of the new Manowar models.
Oh yeah, that thing. You know what? You know those are going in my Kato army, right?
Good God, man.
Good God.
So when I was moving up here to work at Privateer Press, I ended up leaving my entire Kador army back in Houston with a friend who was going through a rough time. So I left the whole thing painted with him, the whole faction, everything good to go. And now I'm like, man, I got to
miss my
repaint
Kador.
this whole faction.
Yeah.
And the steam gun tanker is going to be the one that gets me there. So
I painted a couple of basically the Kador Battle Group box. Like I started painting it for someone else to use for demos and stuff like that. And then I was like, oh, I really like where that paint job's going. So I traded him an unpainted, unopened box to get those back.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the 5th Border Legion paint scheme.
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
the
Fifth
black,
Border Legion's
olive
awesome.
green, and then red accents. It looks so good, and it's so easy to paint.
I'm partial to white Kador.
Benjamin looked
sounds
for a
hard to paint.
comment from Test Room Tony to find that link. It's in
fair,
there, I promise.
So I'm not sure it actually is because I couldn't find it in my chat
I-
either.
I
but I saw
watched
it
it
come up
scroll
on
by.
that chat.
Yep.
So like I don't know what's going on. Maybe Facebook hates
maybe
us.
it's too hidden. I'm going to pin that link like so. So now if you refresh your screen, you should see that comment pinned to the top.
Oh, so exciting!
My
Pin to the
magical powers.
top.
Magical power. Magical pinning power.
So
know what?
my vote is as we wrap up here in the next couple minutes.
I'm
as
going
you
to
get
wrap
your-
up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, as you get your finishing touches on these parts here, and then I think we need to come back to do the water
Yeah.
and the bases
Probably do
because I know I will get a lot out of that, and there have been a number of people that have been requesting it as well. So I think I'm not the only
I
one.
mean, are we painting the bases or just doing the water?
Let's do both.
That probably won't work.
Then I
The
guess we'll
water
do
takes a
two.
long
I guess
time
we'll do two
to-
videos then,
dry.
All right, we'll talk about.
or we can have the base ready to go and then do the water effect because I think that's more the
There you
the
go.
key piece.
But yeah, steam gun tanker. I'm 1000% in on that guy.
Well, there's a couple things coming up that I want to do on Get Your Paint On.
Steam gun tanker.
These are almost painted.
Your Krakens?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oop, that's too much. Oh my.
I'm dying.
It's
That
so,
was an adorable sneeze.
just the most adorable little sneezes.
And yes, Nick, to confirm, the starfish that's on the base was done with just the straight aluminum putty.
Straight aluminum putty, that's all
It
it
actually
was.
had a wire armature built underneath it. And then Dallas used titanium rods
And paper mache.
and paper mache to support the arms of it. And then he covered the entire thing in pure aluminum putty.
Right.
All of that is a lie.
Every single part of it except for
Except
that
for the
it's all
aluminum
aluminum putty.
Yes, correct.
So it's all I, except for the part
Except for that one little
isn't
bit
a lie.
that wasn't a lie.
So Benjamin and everyone else who is looking for the link to that YouTube video of him doing the scar bust, I will post that directly to Facebook a little after we're done here, just to make life easy.
Okay, I think these are done. I think we're ready to base.
Shazam! So you're gonna go
Maybe do some more gauze.
do
but-
some basing, do some
but
gauze.
I'll have that done over the holidays,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we come back, we will. They will be on the base, ready for some water. Let's put the Kraken in the shot. On the base, ready for some water. We'll do the water, and then whatever we have laying around to paint, we'll just paint.
Sounds great.
How's that sound?
Can I
Sounds
like drop
fantastic
off
to me.
an army for you to paint?
Oh, is that how this is gonna go down?
It's kind of laying around, right?
No.
Like if I just leave it in this room,
No.
I can even throw it on the floor if you want.
Nope.
Oh, don't throw it on the floor.
Place it on the floor gently.
Now we're talking.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Will Pagani, thanks for joining us as well.
Thank you for having me, John. It was lovely.
Absolutely. It was
It's
lovely.
Thursday. Get your paint on, and until 2 weeks from now, because of holiday times,
And ham.
we'll
What
catch
was
you
with you
later.
and ham? There's so much better meat than
Bye,
ham.
everybody.
I don't know about that.
Brisket, is
Brisket
way
would be
better
good.
than ham.
Yeah, but I
Way
do
better.
enjoy a good ham.
I mean,
Brisket.
ham's fine.
Ham
Brisket
But
is
really
way
on
better.
sandwiches, right?
are.
I mean, I'm gonna take a
now
bite.